We escaped mud season in France for winter in Tenerife. So, how'd it go? If you're picturing us baking in the sand, splashing about in the sea, and endless sun, it wasn't exactly that. In fact, it was a little unpredictable. Swimming? A little too cold for us, but plenty of others didn't care, shirts off, bellies out, loving it. Hiking? Perfect. Rain in the north? Every day. Still, there was plenty to do, and we got enough vitamin D to carry us through at least a week or so back in France. Let's start with the vibes at our accommodations. We landed late afternoon and picked up our tiny Fiat 500 from Sycar. It was perfect for navigating Tenerife's roads and traffic. Winter here isn't really off season, you see, because Brits and Germans and people like us escaping garbage weather across Europe love coming here at this time. At our hotel, the vibe was definitely older. We stayed at the Apart Hotel Perlegrine near Adeje on the southern end of the island. You definitely want to stay down this way in winter because the north is wet, very wet. They nickel and dimed us a bit on pool towels, things like that, but it was comfortable and more affordable than some of the bigger resort style accommodations down this way. Hiking in winter Tenerife is pretty great. You'll get cooler temperatures, and most of the hikes aren't that crowded because everyone's at the pool. We started at Barranco del Infierno, a super scenic trail to hell with a trickling waterfall at the end that was giving San Diego, quote, waterfall, unquote. Early tours for this one are key because even in winter, paths get busy. Tidy National Park wasn't as chill. The cable car often closes in winter due to wind, and summit climbs are for seasoned experts. You need permits to summit the volcano, so you can't work around those regulations if you're not someone who travels with gear, like pickaxes or whatever icy climbs entail. I really don't know. But that means the lower trails, like Ruta Garcia, are practically empty if you start early. You get the dramatic landscapes almost to yourself, and it seriously feels like you're on the moon. Just get there early. By the time we were done, the parking lot was more than full. Like people were parking along the road, blocking people in, tour buses were blocking cars, the works. Hit the trail in the morning, though, perfection. From there, we drove around viewpoints like Minas de San Jose, where it was really cold and ridiculously windy, but the views were cool. You can see the clouds drifting through the caldera and the snow dusted peaks of Tidy in the distance. Nice. Anaga Rural Park in the north is another popular destination for hikers. In the winter, expect things to get rainy, muddy, and foggy. The scenery is awesome, but you really need to be mindful about weather here. The clouds and mist make the forest feel almost magical, but definitely prepare for wet trails. Hikes like Roca de Taborno or the Matterhorn of Tenerife can get sketchy if the weather turns, so check forecasts and pack waterproof layers. Truly, it felt like we were going to be nearly blown off the top of that mountain, and we did get lost maybe twice. Beaches in winter aren't as dramatic as being nearly blown off a mountain, but they're not necessarily great for winter swims either. The black sand beaches, like Playa de los Guios, looked atmospheric, but these aren't soft Caribbean sands and bathtub temperature water you're dealing with. That didn't stop some who are braver than we. The natural pools aren't a good idea in winter either, despite what you may have read online. The water is freezing, the rocks slippery. On a walk along the coast in Los Gigantes, we saw one of the spots where people died just this past December after disregarding warnings about wild waves in the pools. Stick to the viewpoints. If you want to swim, I'm sure your hotel has a pool that won't sweep you out to sea. Whale watching in winter is great. You're more likely to see migrating whales during these months. We didn't on our tour, but you can't tell whales what to do even if you think you speak whale. We did see lots of dolphins and pilot whales in between me trying not to be sick with the rest of our catamaran group. Brian and another man were the only two who felt fine. What a flex. Seasickness is a real concern no matter when you go, especially if you're a delicate flower like me, and winter can mean choppier waters, the things we do to see marine life. Another popular excursion is stargazing at Tahiti. It's actually one of the top three places in the world to see the stars in the night sky, but also, as expected, cold AF up there and windy. Our tour provided us with jackets, but hats, gloves, layers, long underwear, etc. are up to you. We started with a sunset drink with views of Tahiti, which sounds like it should be very cute, but again, windy. Heads were nearly blown off again. Tenerife is a popular winter destination for a reason and is absolutely worth it if you adjust your expectations. Swimming may be off the table, some hikes require caution, and the cable car at Tidy may be down, but the quiet trails, dramatic skies, and potential for wildlife make it a winter destination with lots of adventure potential. If you're there to lie around the pool or one of those black sand beaches, that's totally doable too. Would I recommend you come all this way if you're not already on the European continent? American travelers, the Caribbean is right there, or even Hawaii. I'm not sure it'd be that much of a different experience than that. Thinking about visiting Tenerife? Head to the description of this video for full travel guides, including winter in Tenerife. And as always, like and subscribe.